Well, at the markets, they'd have all these jerseys hanging up everywhere, and they were fairly cheap. They were probably around 35 pounds, like $7 American. So it wasn't that expensive, but one of our friends that went, he got so many jerseys, like at least 9 or 10 of them, just because they were so cheap.
And here they're, you know, from what they were saying, I didn't get one, but $100 or something for one of them. So everything was so cheap, especially if you're good at haggling.
Yeah.
I could, you know, have a basic conversation with people, you know, just kind of how are you and things like that. And then they just respect that, you know, and most of them speak fairly decent English. Especially the kids. The kids are, we all kind of felt bad for them. They're kind of made to go out and, you know, sell bookmarks and things like that, and they all speak very good English. And they were saying in schools they're taught Spanish, German, French, English. I mean, all these languages, and I mean, it's just unbelievable how intelligent the people are there as far as language is concerned. It's not easy to have all those languages under your belt, but I mean, they have to for tourism because that's their biggest money maker. Because they're a third world country, and they try to, I mean, they have tourism police to help people cross the streets. They really try to make it a comfortable visit for people, especially Americans. We were told that we bring in the most money for them. So, yeah, I mean, Arabic is definitely a tough language. I wouldn't even know how to begin to read it. Just the concept of reading right to left is, like, ridiculous. And then, I mean, just everything looks exactly the same. I definitely want to learn someday, but for now I'm fine just having a few of the words.
Welcome is marhaba, right? Marhaba?
Mm-hmm. Our favorite word was yalla. That means let's go. Our tour guide Laura would always say that, yalla. So even, you know, when we're all hanging out now, if we're going to go somewhere, we always say yalla. And salam is hello.
Shukran is thank you.
Mm-hmm. Shukran gazilan is thank you very much. So those were kind of the words we used most of the time.
Oh, we used la 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 like so many times. It means no. Like, you keep repeatedly saying it, like for a haggler that's like trying to sell you this thing that you don't want, and you just say like halas, it means stop or enough if they're like bugging you. Because one time we had a really big incident with some of them just going up to you and like grabbing you. Like, no, you don't want this, you don't want to buy this? And you got to tell them that. Like, no means no.
Yeah, at first you say la 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 la, yeah, or la shukran, like no thank you. But then if they're persistent, you're eventually supposed to say halas, and that's like get out of here, you know. And so when they hear that, they're like okay, and they kind of make fun of you. They're like, oh, you know, a word or something like that. They kind of like feel defeated almost. It's like I don't want to buy this plastic pyramid that you're trying to tell me is made of solid gold. You know, that's how a lot of it is. They say, touch it, feel it, you know, and a lot of us bought some stuff that we shouldn't have, I'm sure, but it's all about the experience. They listen to some American music, like Celine Dion is apparently a big thing over there, Bob Marley, like I said, and it's just very, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it sounds kind of like Indian music, I guess, but it's, I don't know. How would you explain it?
It's very vibrant, I feel, the way they presented it there. And like we had like different shops where they played music.
Yeah.
And that you could actually buy the CDs that they listened to and everything. Just like their culture. I couldn't read any of the names, but some of them were really good.
I mean, they definitely like some American singers, so we would think it was funny. And I mean, we went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and they were playing like Boys to Men and stuff, and we were like, do they think this is the kind of music we still listen to? And you know, I mean, I guess it's almost kind of like techno at some parts, their music, but it's really fast. It's kind of like you want to dance to it kind of music.
Well, the time I went to the Hard Rock Cafe in Cairo, we went at different times, and the waitresses and waiters were up there dancing on the front of the table, singing like YMCA, and they got other people there that were dining in there to do it, and We Will Rock You, and just all those different kind of old classics that they were trying to get everybody to listen to and just dance along with, so it's pretty funny.
It was hard getting used to it, especially stomach-wise for quite a few of us, but I mean everything, I remember the first couple nights, like they have a lot of pickled vegetables, and there were some people who definitely liked it, but I mean you sit down and you just see like like, it almost looks like a purplish or a hot pink color. You just sit down and, like, there's plates and plates full of these vegetables, and you're like, I just want vegetables, and I want pickled vegetables, you know, and it was a lot of bread. I mean, we joked, and a lot of us called it Breadfest 2010, because, I mean, breakfast, you wake up, you get a croissant, a roll, and a slice of bread.
With fruit in it.
With fruit in it. And if you're lucky, some jam to put on there. For lunch, we had to ourselves, so we'd get a sandwich or like pizza. I mean, everything has bread in it. It's out of control. And I remember on the flight on the way there, we had 2 meals and they both had bread in it. And I was like, man, I can't wait to get off this plane and not eat bread anymore. And then little did I know, for the next 17 days, we'd be eating bread at every meal. I mean, so that was pretty much the biggest food there, but a lot of chicken, beef.
Yeah, the 2 things that I liked the most there were chicken shawarma, which was like, they put it on, they had 2 big stacks of it, right? One was beef and one was chicken at this one. It was kind of like just a fast food place, almost.
Yeah, it was a chain.
I couldn't remember the name, but 2 big stacks of it, like on skewers, and these huge chunks. One's of beef and one's of chicken. And everybody got chicken shawarma with us, and they put it on these big rolls, like steak subs almost, and then just throw it on there with green peppers and what else was in it?
Lots of vegetables.
Green peppers, vegetables, and they just mix it all in it after they like skewer it off there and chop it down, and that was amazing. And it was only like 12 pounds to get a drink, that, and some like fries, and then they also had
just nothing.
The cultural phenomenon, the McArabia at McDonald's, which was on a pita bread. It looked like almost like a taco, and it had 2 like char-grilled fillets in it of chicken, almost, and then just like vegetables and everything, lettuce, tomatoes, stuffed inside of it. It was really good.
Yeah, that was
everybody was talking.
That was
about
all the rage. Everyone on our trip wanted to go there to get the McArabia.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food was definitely interesting.